My brother wore a white suit to my wedding and stood in the middle of my aisle so he could give a speech I told him he couldn't give. So my father-in-law stood up and gave him a lesson he will never forget. My brother Vin has always believed the world revolves around him. Growing up, every birthday, every holiday, every family event had to include a moment where Vin was the center of attention. When I graduated from nursing school, he proposed to his girlfriend at my graduation party while I was cutting the cake my fiancé Russ had baked for me. He got down on one knee between the dessert table and the photo booth, and suddenly, my graduation didn't exist anymore. Nobody told him it was wrong. My parents clapped. My mother cried happy tears for him. Everyone forgot what the party was for. He and that girlfriend broke up 8 months later. Every Christmas he showed up late, and everyone held dinner for him. Every Thanksgiving he changed the plans last minute, and everyone rearranged around him. Every birthday he forgot mine but expected a parade for his. Nobody ever told him no. Nobody ever told him stop. My parents had built a soft, padded wall around him his entire life, made of excuses, and his heart was in the right place, and he just wanted to be included. And that wall had kept him from ever seeing what he was actually doing. When I got engaged to Russ, Vin said nothing for 3 weeks. Then he called and said he needed to be part of the wedding. I said, of course, you're my brother. He said he wanted to give a toast. I said we already had 2 planned. He said he should replace one. I said no. He asked which reading he'd do during the ceremony. I said we didn't have readings. He asked if he could walk me down the aisle with our father. I said our father was walking me alone. Every conversation about my wedding became a negotiation about what role Vin would play. I gave him a job. I asked him to be an usher. He'd greet guests, hand out programs, help people find seats. A real role. A visible role. He said ushers are for people who don't matter. I told him that wasn't true and I needed his help. He said fine. The wedding was in April at a venue outside the city. Outdoor ceremony, 120 guests, white chairs on both sides of a grass aisle. Everything Russ and I had planned for a year and a half. Vin showed up an hour before the ceremony in a full white suit with a white tie and white shoes. At my wedding, my wedding coordinator Beatrice asked him politely if he had a change of clothes because typically guests don't wear white to a wedding. He told her he knew what he was doing. Beatrice came and told me. I was in the bridal suite getting my veil pinned. I said let it go. I'm not going to fight with him today. That was my mistake. I should have fought with him right then. The ceremony started at 4. My bridesmaids walked down the aisle. Russ was standing at the altar with his best man. The music changed to the bridal march. My father took my arm. We stepped out from behind the trellis and started walking. Vin was standing in the middle of the aisle, not off to the side, not in a chair, dead center, 15 feet from the altar, facing the guests, blocking the path between my future husband and me. He had a microphone. I don't know where he got it. The venue had a small speaker system for the officiant, and he'd taken the wireless mic from the podium. He held it up and said, before my sister gets married, I want to say a few words. I stopped walking. My father stopped walking. Every person in every chair was looking at Vin in his white suit, holding a stolen microphone in the middle of my aisle on the most important day of my life. He started talking. He said he remembered when I was born. He said he supported this marriage and that Russ was a good man. He said he was proud to be my brother. He said this was a moment he'd been thinking about for a long time. He talked for 40 seconds before Russ's father, Boyd, stood up from his seat in the front row. Boyd is a quiet man, retired carpenter, doesn't talk much, never raises his voice. I'd met him maybe 10 times before that day. Boyd walked into the aisle, slow and steady, stood directly in front of Vin and put his hand out. He said,